happy Datta Jayanti. Today is Dattatreya Bhagwan's day, and Dattatreya Bhagwan pata hai na? Brahmaji is four-headed, Dattaji is three-headed. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh in one. Meaning, he is you. What are your three heads? Waker, dreamer, sleeper.
Can't hear.
Can't hear?
You got a jet.
There is a microphone on.
Maybe through the speaker this side. Ah, okay.
Or come closer. Now can you hear?
Yeah,
How you can? Oh, you took out the earbud from your ear.
I apologize really.
No. So who is the Dattatreya within us? The one who knows with the three heads. What are they? Waker, dreamer and sleeper. At the totality level they are Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. The one who is beyond the three is Dattatreya and expressing through the three. We are also beyond the three and expressing through the three, no? बोलो दत्त भगवान की जय. दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा 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 श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा. And that one is, the one who is beyond the three is our Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. He is established in that. See? And that's the topic for today. We are in the 17th chapter of Sri Ramana Gita. The other chapters, they are on YouTube now. And the topic for this 17th chapter of Sri Ramana Gita is on attainment of jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Our understanding of knowledge is very limited. Our understanding of knowledge is that knowledge which is opposite of ignorance. Our knowledge is an idea that that is taken in, that is understood through mind and intellect. It is through words that we gain knowledge. But Ramana Maharishi's idea of knowledge is not idea of knowledge. His definition of knowledge is something different. It is not within the purview of the words. It is not within the purview of experience. It is not in the purview of knowledge in the intellect, which is opposite of ignorance. As we saw in Amrit Anubhav, or in the last chapter, the words Sat Chit Ananda, which are used for the Paramatma, Parabrahma Paramatma, these words are abuses to the Parabrahma Paramatma. गाली है, गाली. क्या बोलते हो आप? भगवान को गाली है? हाँ जी. But if you cannot digest it, just delete it from your mind. If you have come to that point where Dattatreya Bhagwan is, where Ramana Maharshi is, if they are saying that it is where Dhaneshwar Maharaj is, if they are saying it is an abuse to the divine, then there must be something in it. Maybe somewhere, some shortcoming in us that we are not able to understand what they are saying, rather than say, oh, ye pagal hai. So what is that Satchidananda? Sat, because Parabrahma Paramatma is everything, there is nothing other than him. So how can he talk to himself? How can any word stick to him? How can any quality stick to him? How can any attribute stick to him? How can any form stick to him? And yet he supports the entire without giving up his oneness. एकदम बॉम्बशेल हो गया ना शुरू में ही. Without giving his oneness, he is supporting everything. How are you supporting the waker, dreamer, sleeper without losing the one person, the consciousness that you are? Yes. Are you supporting the father, mother, daughter, sister, brother without losing the one woman or man that you are? Yes. So you are also practicing the same thing. All you have to do is expand and come to that infinite. So can the father stick to the woman or mother or to the man? No. But can fatherhood express without the man? No. exactly the same way. The Sat Chit Ananda, they are words which are used not to define the Paramatma, but they are utilized to counteract the opposite. The Sat is used to counteract Asat, existence. Sat is used to counteract non-existence. Chit, consciousness, is used to counteract, neutralize, annihilate, dissolve, melt the Achit. What is Achit? Ego is Achit. Personality is Achit. See? And Ananda is used to counteract the Dukkha. So, with this background of Dattatreya Maharaj and Ramana Maharishi, let's dive into the text proper. And here the सप्तदशोऽध्यायः ज्ञानप्राप्तिविचारः. Jnana, knowledge, prapti, attainment, vicharaha, contemplation. On contemplation on the attainment of knowledge. Panchavinshe tu divase vaidarbho vidushambaraha prashrayavanato bhutva munim bhuyopi prushtavan. You can also chant. Maybe I'll do it in small pieces. Panchavinshe tu divase vaidarbho vidushambaraha prashrayavanato bhutva munim bhuyopi prushtavan. Together, Panchavinshe tu divase vaidarbho vidushambaraha prashrayavanato bhutva munim bhuyopi prushtavan. On the 25th, Panchavinshe, 25th, Vinsh is 10, 20, Dasha is 10, Vinsh is 20, and Pancha is 5, 5 plus 20 is 25. On the 25th August 1917, Vaidarbha, best among the learned, bowed humbly before the sage and questioned him again. This entire Sri Ramana Gita is a dialogue of interaction between Ganapati Muni, the first disciple who discovered Sri Ramana Maharishi Ji in the cave, in the Virupaksha cave, and having seen his unshaking abidance in the truth. And who is this fellow? Meaning, who is this Sri Ramana Maharishi? Who is a young fellow living in the cave. And who is Ganapati Muni? He is a great Pandit. He has studied all the scriptures. And who is Ramana Maharishi, who has not studied any scripture? This is the conundrum. An educated man coming to an uneducated person to know how to realize. But this is how it is. When we have the arrogance that we know everything, that's where the problem begins. The whole idea of experiencing the bliss, the ananda, is to empty yourself. Ramana Maharishi did not get exposed to any knowledge. He did not get exposed to any knowledge. Then how did he get there? Because, remember, again we are repeating it, every retreat we repeat, Ramana Maharishi at the age of 14 or 15, he was sitting in his room, he saw a dead body passing by, and he played dead in his bed. And he had an out-of-body experience, and that out-of-body experience was so transforming that immediately it came to him that he is not this body. Then who is he? He knows he is separate to him. But then who am I? Who am I then? And that question led him to, and this happens, believe me or not, if you observe your own life, this moment that you are not the body has happened to you also many times. It has happened to you. There is no person on this planet to whom this has not happened. I'm not saying exactly an out-of-body experience like Ramana Maharishi, but somewhere, sometime in an accident, in a deep emotional turmoil, in an extreme excitement, ecstasy, you would have experienced that, hey, this is all going on. I'm separate to all this, what is going on. But it stays for a temporary moment, and then again you fall back into the world, isn't it? But Ramana Maharishi's case, he didn't go back to the world. He didn't go back denying the disposition or the experience that he had. Experience was separation from the body. He knows he's separate from the body. But who is he? Till now I was thinking I am the body. Now who am I then if I am not the body? I can't see a shape, I can't see a form, I can't see I can't touch, feel, taste, the senses are incapable. Then who am I? That was his enquiry, and that is what this whole Sri Ramana Gita, the words of Sri Ramana Maharshi himself are on that. So this Ganapati Muni, he is his another name is Vaidarbha. He is commenting here that on the 25th August 1917, Vaidarbha, best among the learned, why? Because he was a Pandit, he was a Shastri. Ganapati Muni Shastri, his name was. Shastri is he who is well versed in Sanskrit and scriptures and Upanishads and Puranas and all the Shastras. Humbly before the sage and questioned him again. Vaidarbha Uvacha Kramena kim jnanam Kramena kim jnanam Kinchit dine dine Kinchit dine dine Ekasminneva kale kim Purnama bhati bhanuvata Vaidarbha Uvacha together Vaidarbha Uvacha Kramenayati kim jnanam Kinchit dine dine Ekasminneva kale kim Purnama bhati bhanuvata. Vaidarbha Uvacha, he spoke, Vaidarbha, Ganapati Muni, and what does he ask? He says, does jnana come to us gradually, kinchit, little by little, dine, moment by moment, little by little, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day? Is it like that? Dine, little by little, day by day? Or does it, like the sun, blaze forth all at once in all its fullness? This is a question which many of you who are sincere seekers, you must have some time or the other listening to the satsangs. This question must have come to you, that why is it not happening? Then maybe there is a presupposition that it comes slowly. How does it come slowly? The 7 levels of Kundalini, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, another 8 levels. So step by step. So does it come step by step? Does it come slowly? Does it come gradually? Or does it come instantaneously? That is the question. So does it happen instantaneously? So should I just wait? Not do anything? You are able to hear? Lois, can you hear?
Do it slowly, or do something happening instantly, yes.
No, can you hear?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
She's telling her experience of realization. That it's happening slowly, but suddenly, instantly. So, Ramana Maharshi, for Ramana Maharshi, knowledge was not slowly, gradually. Knowledge is instantaneous. When you wake up in the morning, are you waking up instantaneously or slowly? I'm asking, tell me. Let's analyze that. Slowly. Why do you say slowly? Both ways, huh? Whether you wake up or you go to sleep. Do you go slowly to sleep or you go instantaneously into sleep? Or do you wake up slowly or do you wake up instantaneously?
Instead, wake up instantly.
Hmm?
Wake up instantly.
You are a go-getter. If he touches the bed, goes to sleep, gets up, vacuuming start. Why did you say slowly? Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong.
This is the question of this student also. So, what is our analysis of our experience of going to sleep or waking up? Why do we say it is slowly?
Takes time.
Mind,
Huh?
from no mind to when we get the thoughts, slowly we are thinking it is slowly.
Okay, slowly, good point, very good point. I'll come back to that in a few minutes. You say
Takes time.
it takes time to wake up. Okay, what do you mean by it takes time to wake up? What does it mean it takes time to go to sleep?
You have to drop
It
everything
means
thoughts.
yesterday I was taking this notebook, this book, and I was lying in the bed and I was just reading the verses. And while I was reading the verses, कहीं बीच में मेरे को झपकी लग गई. I had a nap. Then again the eyes opened. Hey, the hand is still there, the book is still there. And the moment I woke up, again I started reading. Where I left. Again, contemplating on the verse, again I went to sleep. Tandri lag gayi. Again I got up, again I looked at it. And eventually, I said, before this book tears down into pieces, I put it on the side and then I vanished. So, will that be a sequence of going in slowly to sleep?
No.
Why? I slept, I came out, I slept, I came out, then I went to sleep. So slowly I went to sleep. Isn't it? Step by step. Waking up also same thing. When we look at the total event of sleep, then we say we are going in slowly. When we look at the total event, if in our mind the idea is that when we get out of the bed completely, then it is waking up. Or I am totally awake to the world, then it is waking up. Or I am awake but the eyes are still closed. Is that waking or sleeping? It is waking only. You are doing the drama of not waking up. So waking up, so understand these two. Okay, keep this example there. Now what Amma said here, Renuka said was, from an empty mind in sleep, now slowly the thoughts are coming in. They don't come suddenly, right? When you say slowly the thoughts are coming, they don't come suddenly, where is your attention? Your attention is on your mind full of thoughts. But the fact is that in the mind, thoughts begin instantaneously the moment you wake up. What is the first thought? I am. Second thought, I am the body. Third thought, I am still breathing. Fourth thought, I don't want to wake up. Close your eyes, go back. See? But you wake up instantly. Take another example. In front of you, your husband is standing and then your son is standing. Does it take for you to change your personality from wife to mother slowly or instantaneously? Kaise? Why there is no confusion? Why there is no confusion?
Because you're so used to.
Huh? You used to sleeping and waking also every day. Why that is slowly, slowly? Why not instantly? Zara sochiye.
Because we have accepted the
You have accepted the
role of being a mom.
yes, because you are totally identified with the child. That's why the mother comes out. Then you are totally identified with the husband. That's why the wife comes out. When we are talking about waking up, we are not totally identified with the waking. We are still holding on to the sleep. We are still holding on to the bliss of sleep. That's why we keep going back and coming out, going back and coming out, and then we have to say that it is a slow process. But actually, it is instantaneous. Same thing in sleeping. Why you are not able to sleep straight away? Because you have not left the world completely. That's why you are not able to. Otherwise, sleep comes in just instantaneously only. But you have not emptied your mind completely. So now let's see what Ramana Maharishi says. But for Ramana Maharishi, knowledge is instantaneous, and therefore, until and unless the knowledge of your own identity is not continuous, till then the knowledge will not. Continuous knowledge of the self is equal to knowledge of the self. If it is intermittent knowledge, then it is not full knowledge. Continuous knowledge means what? Continuous knowledge is where there is no lag, where there is no deliberation, where there is no forgetfulness, where there is no trying to be that, but it just happens. Just like I gave the example that you are a mother and a wife, instantaneously you change the role. There's no, oh, I don't know, should I be behaving like a mother-in-law or a wife in front of my husband? That doubt doesn't come. That doubt doesn't come. Why? You ask yourself why. Why should I answer? You answer, you are the wives and you are the husbands. Then how come with regards to our own self, the consciousness which we are always, how come there is a doubt that we are or we are not? I am liberated or I am not liberated? I am conscious or I am not conscious? Am I a waker or a dreamer or a sleeper or a Atma? Why this doubt? Why this doubt? Think, why this doubt? Wife cannot express unless and until the husband is in front of her, whether physically or mentally, as an idea. Mother cannot express until and unless there is a child in front of her. If they are both not there, then who is there?
So,
Woman is there, isn't it? Does she keep saying, I am woman, I am woman, I am woman? Now I am not the wife, I am not the mother, I am the woman, I am not the wife, I am not the mother, I am the woman. बोलते रहते हो क्या?
no.
Then why you are seeking liberation? I am the self. बेवकूफ है क्या? Are you stupid? I am the self. I want realization. Then what are you trying to do? I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am the conscious principle. This is exactly the same example. Do you keep saying, I am the woman? No. Then why do you need to keep saying, I am of the nature of self when it is your natural state? Why do you want to keep saying that?
Because I haven't accepted it,
Who hasn't accepted it?
the ego.
How does it accept? Or how does it not accept?
Thoughts.
By way of thoughts, by mind or intellect. It has not come to that conclusion. So where is this dialogue going that I am not realized yet? I have to seek my natural state. I am not the self at this moment. Where is this going on?
Mind.
In the mind. Correct? Can mind ever come to realize?
No.
See how naturally you said no. It has clicked. So no, mind can never come to know. Aprapya manasa saha. Can words reveal it? No. So where is the doubt?
In the mind.
Is it in the self? No. Is it in the mind? Yes. So where is this kinchit dine dine? It is in the mind. When will it become instantaneous, natural disposition?
When the mind
When the
comes.
mind is completely empty. Right? Mind is completely empty every night. Does it happen? I'm taking you step by step. Every night in the sleep, mind becomes completely empty of all thoughts, relationships, everything. Does realization that I am the self happen? No. Huh?
We're not aware.
You are not aware. You allow the ignorance to cover your consciousness. Because your attention is on the bliss of sleep. Your attention is not on the bliss of realization of the self. Your attention is on the bliss of sleep. You are still looking outwards. You are not looking at yourself. If you are looking at yourself, or you are attentive of the conscious person, then this mind will go to sleep or mind wakes up. It does not matter. So that one is the true knowledge. Now take one more step. This is a little bit away from it. If you can catch it, good. If not, थोड़ा और जप करो. What is that? Mind by nature is made up of,
Consciousness.
by nature I said,
Thoughts.
mind's nature is not thoughts. Mind's nature is consciousness.
Yeah, it is.
Mind's nature is consciousness. Self is consciousness. Mind is not being consciousness, but it is thinking of consciousness by way of thoughts. Until and unless it does not completely dissolve all the objective approach to consciousness by way of thoughts. When this idea is in the mind that I have to give up the waker, dreamer, sleeper, I have to give up the body, breath, mind, intellect, I have to give up the relationships and possessions, I have to give up the individuality, till then it will keep trying. And all it can get is kinchit dine dine. Sometimes it will approach that intensely, it will abide in the self, but then again it will come out, again it will abide, again it will come out, again it will abide, again it will come out. Just like every night you go to sleep, again you wake up, every night you go to sleep, again you wake up, but one day you don't wake up. You're all going to face that day. Why you all, I am also. Correct? Every day we go to sleep, we wake up. One day we will not wake up. What will be that? You call it death. Scriptures call it a continuous unmanifestation. But then again, next birth. Right? So, how long will the mind go into meditation, then come out, go in, come out? How long will it keep doing that? As long as it is still attached to the thoughts or the world. But one day will come, by regular practice, one day will come that it goes in
Doesn't come out.
and doesn't come out. there are no thoughts, or there are thoughts, it does not matter to it, because it is established now. Do you go back to, all of you are married, do you go back to being bachelor? No, you and me are in a different category. That's why we are on top. हम दोनों हनुमान जी हैं. हाँ? Can you go back to being a bachelor?
No.
Once you are married and once you are a mother, can you go back to being a virgin? Not possible. Exactly the same way. Once you are completely abiding in the mind has completely merged into into its own essential nature, then there is no coming back. Coming back meaning what? The nature, once this understanding has clicked subjectively, you are not gone to sleep. But the mind's nature, whatever the mind's nature of manifestation and manifestation, that will keep going on. Anyway, who is saying something? Please put your audio off if you are listening on Zoom. Huh? So, वैदर्भोवाच क्रमेणा याति किं ज्ञानं किञ्चित् किञ्चित् दिने दिने एकस्मिन्नेव काले किं पूर्णमाभाति भानुवत्. श्री भगवानुवाच क्रमेणा याति न ज्ञानं किञ्चित् किञ्चित् दिने दिने किञ्चित् किञ्चित् दिने दिने अभ्यास परिपाकेन भासते पूर्णमेकदा टुगेदर. भगवानुवाच क्रमेण याति न ज्ञानं किञ्चित् किञ्चित् दिने दिने अभ्यास परिपाकेन भासते पूर्णमेकदा. Jnana, in the third verse he says, Jnana does not come gradually, little by little, day by day. It blazes forth all at once in all its fullness when the practice has matured to perfection. So what I was telling you was leading to this point now. What is maturity? Maturity is where you are no longer objective in your mind. What is maturity? Where it has gelled into the mind that I am of the nature of pure consciousness, not of the nature of waking consciousness, dream consciousness, sleep consciousness. See? For whom are the problems? For the husband are the issues of wife. For the father, the issues of children. For the employee, the issues of employer. For the waker, the issues are of waking world. The dreamer of the dream world. But who are you? You are the man. Man has no problem. All these roles have the problem. So who has the problem? Mind has the problem. Who is imagining that it is all these roles. But once it comes to ascertain, and it is not ascertained through thoughts. It's a natural glide. It's a natural emptying of itself. It's a natural glide into its essential nature. If consciousness is consciousness and mind is also consciousness, how can mind glide into consciousness? I'm just asking these questions as I'm going along because I'm contemplating right now. How can mind glide into consciousness when consciousness is its own nature? What does it signify? What does it mean? It means as long as there are thoughts in the mind. Okay, let's take one example before we come to the thoughts. A wave is going back to being water. What does it mean? It's
your
good.
identity.
First point, it is already water, but not recognizing that it is already water. Second point, it gives, because it is identified with name and form, it thinking of the water, eventually it loses the idea of name and form from its mind, realizes that it is water, and thereafter it continues to be water. It is not against the wave, nor it is for the wave. Understand?
Unmanifest, manifest.
No. In the knowledge, there is no manifest and unmanifest. So where is the wave?
In the water.
Where is the wave? Yeah, supported by water. From water's point of view, there is no wave. So where is the wave? It is existing in its own absence. It is a phenomena. That phenomena, just like husband, wife, brother, sister, is a phenomena. Waker, dreamer, sleeper is a phenomena. Under certain conditions, it appears. Then it disappears also. But I don't have an experience of disappearing. I don't have an experience of disappearing. So when I say mind is consciousness in its essence, what does it mean that mind glides into consciousness? Meaning, mind loses all idea of name and form by way of thought. And what is that? Not only that I am this form or I am this, is the door open or closed? Open, na? This idea that I am only this body, I am only this form, I am a individual, I am a brother, all this, it melts away. When all this melts away, when will it melt away? When it is contemplating on its source. When it completely melts away, never again to make an impact. Never again to make an impact. Mind has instantaneously, if you provide it, you don't go to sleep. Instantaneously, now we cannot use any words, it will happen. What will happen? The self will happen. Because self is always happening. There has never been a time it is not happening. Self has never stopped happening. See, mind is happening, coming and going. The phenomena is in the mind. And that also, mind is nothing but consciousness. On that consciousness, the phenomena is of thoughts. Just like water is everything, on the water, the phenomena of waves is coming and going. But that phenomena cannot express without the water. That phenomena is nothing but water. Similarly, thought in its core, in its essence, is nothing but the consciousness. When this clicks by God's grace, how? Here he says, Abhyasa paripakena. When you practice this, and it is not doing Parayan, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला. उससे सिर्फ एक चीज होगी, क्या? मन शुद्ध होगा. Your antakaran, what is antakaran? Mana buddhi chitta ahankara. Mind will become purified. That purified mind, if it is not directed towards what we just were discussing, the pure consciousness, not Ram somewhere, not Krishna somewhere, that Ram, that Krishna, that Dattatreya has to be subjective. The consciousness that I am is that Dattatreya alone is this consciousness. That Ram alone is expressing as the consciousness within this equipment. And not only in this equipment, but it is also the equipment that the individual can never realize as an individual. The individuality has to go in order to recognize that the creator is the divine and the material is also the divine. Frankly speaking, from the true knowledge point of view, from the self point of view, there is no creator and there is no material also. Because consciousness is infinite. There is nothing apart from consciousness. Everything else is imagined within the consciousness. And that is called the phenomena, that is called the Shakti, that is called the at individual level, that is called the mind. So here he says, abhyasa paripakena bhasate purnam ekada. Only once. Only once. Your mind has to mature, your mind has to become completely integrated, your mind has to dissolve. Only once, every night, only once, your mind has to completely dissolve. Then alone sleep will begin. If it has temporarily dissolved, you will wake up again after some time. This is your experience every night. But once it completely dissolved, there are no other thoughts, intermittent thoughts which are still pulling you, not allowing you to sleep. When they are also dissolved away, and how do you dissolve them? The problems are still there, but how do you dissolve the problems? By surrendering to sleep even more deeply, by contemplating on the sleep even more deeply. That's all. It's not that I give up the problems, you will never go to sleep. You surrender to the sleep completely. What is surrender? The waker doesn't know what sleep is. All it can do is keep thinking about sleep with full availability. Exactly the same way, with full availability, full bhav, with full whatever we are understanding here, with this understanding, you surrender to the self that you essentially are. Usually at the last moment when it is happening, you will be nonplussed. You will feel as if everything is breaking down. If you are still body identified at that time, it will lead to depression. It will lead to jada samadhi. But you have listened to the satsang so many times, something will click at that time, at the right moment. You don't have to worry how. It will come. Because for last 10, 15, 20 years you are listening to satsang. कहीं को भगवान करे. All we have to focus is on purification. उसके लिए भगवान का नाम लो. But here we are not talking just about purification. Our topic is on the jnana prapti vichara. How to contemplate and on the truth. How to attain the truth. Continuing in the next verse. So as long as the mind is going into meditation and coming out of meditation, meditation meaning here, mind is without thoughts, you are with yourself, but after 1 second, after 5 seconds, after 10 seconds, after 5 minutes also, 5 minutes is too long. 5 minutes is too long. If 30 seconds later you are coming out of the meditation, it is still called intermittent meditation. It will not allow you to abide. Why? The shunting is still going on. Mind is going in, coming out, going in, coming out. So when it's coming out, now Ramana Maharshi says here, he will say it in the next verse. Let's see what he says. Charyam dehendriyadinam vikshya ठीक है नहीं गलत सॉरी वैदर्भ उवाच अभ्यासकाले भगवन् वृत्तिरन्तर्बहिस्तथा यातायातं प्रकुर्वाणा याते किं ज्ञानमुच्यते वैदर्भ उवाच अभ्यासकाले भगवन् वृत्तिरन्तर्बहिस्तथा यातायातं प्रकुर्वाणा याते किं ज्ञानमुच्यते. Vaidarbha, Ganpati Muni, Shastri, he says, oh Bhagwan, during practice the mind goes and comes in and out Is the ingoing of the mind called jnana? Again. Is the ingoing of the mind called jnana? Is when we say there is what are the words? Extrovert or introvert. Bahirdrishti, antarlaksha. In Sanskrit, Bahirdrishti, either you are outward oriented or you are inward oriented. Many people say I am an introvert. Some people say I am an extrovert. Who should you be?
Nothing.
Or another word for it, you should be nothing. You should be,
I'm there.
because nothing can, if you focus on nothing, it will lead to sleep. So, if you are neither extrovert nor introvert, then what are you?
Samastiti.
Bolo,
Samastiti.
and English,
I'm there.
equanimity. We must remain in equipoise. So allow the mind to be extrovert or introvert. You remain equipoised, neither affected nor reacting to the outgoing mind nor the incoming mind. This state you cannot practice. It has to happen. How will it happen? When you slow down. Where? In your mind, not outside. In your mind you slow down. When you slow down in your mind, only then sleep can come, isn't it? If mind is busy, sleep will never come. So during the practice, the I thought is turned within sometimes and is turned or is externalized at other times. Is this turning of the I thought, the I which is outwards or I is inwards? When I is thinking of brother, daughter, sister, world, it is outwards. When the I is thinking of I, when the I is thinking of God in the heart, when I is thinking, who am I? Then suddenly the senses become introvert, the mind also becomes introvert, the I is thinking of itself. Is this called knowledge?
It is still thinking.
It is still thinking. No, yes, it is still thinking. In simple word, Ramana Maharishi says, it is still practice. It is not knowledge. If mind is, it has given up the extrovertedness and become introvert, it is still thinking. As long as it is thinking, it is still practice of knowledge. It is not knowledge itself. But you just now said, whether the mind is extrovert or introvert, it does not matter, you be in equipoise. We just now said it, but we also said equipoise cannot be practiced. It must happen. You cannot practice puberty. It must happen. You cannot practice children when they play wife, husband, husband. When they identify completely, then it happens, but only temporarily. So is this, see, there is another example. Someone wants 1 lakh of rupees. One example. Someone wants 100,000 rupees. Dollars, sorry, we are in Australia. 100,000. He collects $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, and eventually the last 900,999. Is it 900,000? 99,999. And he gets the last dollar. How did he get it? He worked hard towards it, no? He was focused. He is working towards it. What did he do? He only got $1. But automatically he became the owner of $100,000. It happened. He was working. So Ganpati Muni is asking like this, that is it, in the previous verse, that is it that slowly, slowly, day by day, step by step, that I come to realize, that eventually I'll become realized, just like I became a millionaire, slowly, slowly working towards it. Kinchit, kinchit, dine, dine, mase, mase. And this is how we all think, that we have to practice every day, we have to practice every day, we have to do our japa every day, we have to do our puja every day, we have to do our satsang every day. Isn't it? Is it wrong? No. Then all this practice is for what purpose? Only for purification. It is not knowledge. In Mundaka Upanishad, it is called Apara Vidya. It is not called Para Vidya. Para Vidya is beyond. But we have fooled ourselves into thinking that thinking is knowledge. You should read Swamiji's one of the books is there. Thinking, Think or Worry. Many people think, but they think they are thinking. Actually they are worrying. So when is thinking? True thinking. When it is about the divine. But what is the self? It is beyond thinking or not thinking. And that is your true disposition. During the practice of self-inquiry, the mind is interned by the inquiry towards its source, towards the source or about the source, and does not sometimes stray away from the topic of contemplation. What is the contemplation? Who am I? Here the topic is who am I? So continuously it is going on. Who am I? And it is available to it. Who is available? Mind is available to it. Now you are here, sitting here. Where is your attention? Your attention is on the words. Your attention is on me. Are you at times getting distracted by the sounds from the street? For 1 second, microsecond, if your attention is going, you are not focused. When it will be focused? When you don't hear anything outside. How you don't hear? Like in sleep, you don't hear anything what is going on outside. That will be the ultimate focus. So here is saying that sometimes it does not go astray. The Ganpati Muni wishes to know if this merging of the mind in the self is knowledge, for then too the mind subsides in its source. Samadhi is also a state of abidance, isn't it? Samadhi is a state of abidance. The deep sleep is a state of abidance under the influence of ignorance. Samadhi is a state of abidance with objectivity. Samadhi is a source of abidance with objectivity. You have not dissolved the objectivity completely. Realization is abidance once and for all. So is Samadhi knowledge? Is deep sleep knowledge? So we cancel deep sleep by remaining awake in deep sleep. We went into Samadhi. So is Samadhi, is abidance in the self without any interruptions, is that knowledge? When will it become knowledge? Tell me, before I answer, or Raman Maharishi answers. When will it become knowledge? It's not a trick question. If you are with it, it will click.
When the abidance is 24/7, without a thought.
But abidance is not against thought or
In
for
spite
thought.
of thoughts.
Yeah, someone wants to say here.
Swamiji, it's like when will it become knowledge? You already.
Oh, wrong beginning.
That's what
There
you
is
asked.
there is no becoming knowledge. I never used the word becoming.
Your question was that, I thought.
I did not. Okay, did I say becoming?
I'm sorry, sir, Swamiji.
Okay.
That-
Okay. Say what you were saying. Complete the thought.
I was saying the knowledge is in you, Swamiji. So
Is it
it's,
in you or is it you?
it's me. It's me.
Why only you? Me also, man. It's one without a second. True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what I'm trying to get out of you is, because we are looking at mind abiding in its source,
Yeah.
when will it become true knowledge? When will it be true? Not become. When will it be true knowledge? It will be true knowledge when the mind does not forget who it is. In other words, mind does not come out and say, I am. Mind does not come out and say, I am, the way you are saying I am right now.
Yeah.
I am an individual. After samadhi you come out, you are still, I am an individual.
Yeah.
We are not stopping mind from saying anything. But for the Mahatma, the next few verses will be for this particular point. That when mind completely abides in its own source permanently, because there is no doubt, there is no objectivity, there is no intermittency, the practice is over. The practice is over. That then from thereafter, now Ganpati Muni will ask the question that how is it that we see the Mahatmas and everything talking and behaving and all those things. So here he says that from this point, the fifth verse. भगवानुवाच विद्वन् अन्तर्यातामतिर्विद्वन् बहिरायाति चेत् पुनः अभ्यासमेव तामाहुः ज्ञानं ह्यनुभवोच्युतः Together, Bhagavan अन्तर्यातामतिर्विद्वन् बहिरायाति चेत् पुनः अभ्यासमेव तामाहुः ज्ञानं ह्यनुभवोच्युतः. He says in the fifth verse, Bhagavan says, O learned one, if the mind having once gone in comes out again, it is only a practice. This is what we are trying to get to. If it is not coming out anymore into objectivity, then it is knowledge. So, if the mind having once gone in comes out again, it is only practice. For jnana, knowledge, is the experience which never slips away. We'll conclude here. We'll think about this in our next class, 10:17 over. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate